Hello, class. For part three of this topic of energy, we're going to talk about something that's called conservation of energy. So, last time you learned that energy has different forms, and in this video lesson, we're going to learn how these energy changes from one form to another. So, many scientists believe that there are a certain amount of energy in the universe and no more and no less. It has been this way since the beginning of time. If you add up all the total energy that is in this universe, that total energy is the same whether it's in the past when it was during the days of the dinosaur and even up until today, and it will still be the same in the future. The total energy in this universe is the same. But the energy is constantly moving around the universe, changing from one form to another. For example, the energy starts out from the sun, and then the sun causes the plants to grow. So the energy from the sun is transferred to the chemical energy in the plants, and then you eat the plant. So the chemical energy of the plants is then transferred to your body, and then your body uses that energy to produce heat, your body heat, so that chemical energy changes to heat, and that heat will then move to the environment. So, as you can see, that's what we mean by energy changing from one form to the other, and we're going to look at that in this video lesson. And all the types of energy in this universe follow this one particular law, and this law is called the principle of conservation of energy, which states that energy cannot be created or destroyed but only changes from one form to another. The total amount of energy within the universe is the same. This simply means that we change energy to different forms, no matter what forms they are, and the total value would always be the same. And you cannot create energy out of nothing. It has to come somewhere, and you cannot destroy energy either. The energy that cannot disappear without any particular reason, and that energy has to go somewhere. So let's see how energy is converted from one form to another. Let's use a candle, for example. So a candle has chemical potential energy. And let's say that this chemical potential energy is 1000 joules. But when you light up the candle, that chemical potential energy is converted into light energy and heat energy. And let's say 400 joules of that starting 1000 joules becomes light energy, and then the other 600 joules become heat energy. As you can see, the total energy before and the total energy after, right, are the same. Okay, so all of the energy before changes to a different type of energy after. And this is what we mean by the principle of conservation of energy. Energy is conserved. Energy before is always equal to energy after. Nothing is lost, nothing disappeared. Let's look at another example, running. So before you run, you have 1000 joules of energy in your body, and that is stored as chemical potential energy. So when you run, you're producing kinetic energy, your body becomes more hot, you release more body heat, so that's heat energy, and you also produce sound as you run or as you step on the ground. So some of that energy becomes sound energy. And as you can see, the energy before the conversion and the energy after it's being converted are always the same. The total is the same before and after. Table lamp, for example. So in the beginning, you have electrical energy, and then that electrical energy is changed to light energy and also heat energy. Another example that you see in biology is photosynthesis. So light energy from the sun gets converted to chemical potential energy in the plants. So the plants use light energy from the sun to make themselves glucose or to make themselves their own food, and that is the chemical potential energy. So here are some examples. You can pause the video and read them out yourself. Okay, so one particular one that I want to point out is probably falling objects. So when you raise an object, it has gravitational potential energy, but then when you let it go, all it falls down, so it begins to move. So all that gravitational potential energy becomes kinetic energy. Okay, so today we looked at the conservation of energy, how energy changes from one form to the other. We also looked at this law called the principle of conservation of energy. So make sure you are able to remember which states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change from one form to the other, and the total amount of energy in this universe remains the same. So that sentence, that statement there, you have to remember for your exam. For the next part, we're going to look at how to calculate when energy changes from one form to another.